What's up, guys? It's Aaron from Teens Really Matter, Aaron Honer and the 30-Day No Porn Challenge. And this is my brother Dequan. And he just put out a book, bro. I'm super pumped. Man, he's super pumped for the book. I read like a little bit of it. I didn't read the whole thing. This guy's got a lot of wisdom, a lot of knowledge, and a lot of experience. Yeah. So first of all, yeah, man. Like, how did you come up with, like, what made you want to write the book? Like, what made you want to make that impact and stuff like that?
Yeah. Well, I'll be real, man. Like, you know, I kind of look at the world, you know, and there's a lot happening, right? There's a lot of good things happening, a lot of bad things happening. And, you know, I've gone through some things in life as well, but I was trying to figure out, like, what is the world's problems? Because, you know, obviously there's a lot happening. There's war, you know, people getting killed, people stealing, breaking into places, homeless people on the streets. There's a lot happening. And we always try to solve these problems with like outside sources, right? Like, for example, and I'm not like political or nothing like that, but for example, we'll be like, all right, there's a lot of illegal aliens coming in, let's throw the wall up, right? You know, because they're breaking laws, they're coming into our country, they're doing all this stuff, right? Okay, whatever, cool. What's the real problem? Like, why is it that there's evil in the world? And I don't think it has anything to do with what people are doing. It has everything to do with the heart of a person, right? And when I say heart, I'm not talking about heart and mind as a separate thing. I'm referring to the heart as the mind. Like, so the mind of people is corrupt. And so I'm like, okay, how can I solve that problem? Because if we could solve that problem, we could solve everything that has to do with mankind. So that's the main reason why I wrote the book, because I saw that I had problems. And, you know, when I was a kid, you know, I stealing from the grocery store or something. Like, even something as small as that could lead down to a path of destruction. And trying to get to the root of the person, and I think it has everything to do with the mind. If that makes sense. I don't know. I feel like I'm speaking a foreign language.
Nah. So, bro, like, one thing that you've taught me is how to find your purpose, and like how to find my purpose, and you've really helped me with that. How, in maybe a minute, or if somebody had like a minute with you and you could give them, like, you know, tips to find their purpose, or just, you know, how to find their purpose, what would you say to them? If they had like a minute in a coffee shop with you, what would you say?
Yeah, if I had a minute, I would say, for example, like, look at these ducks out here, and there's fish out here, people going fishing. The fish, its environment, it has to be in the water, right? And so if it's outside the water, that thing's gonna fight to get back in. It's gonna do everything it can in its power to get back in that water. These birds, their environment is the air, or the ducks on the surface of the water. And a human being, you know, if we look at ourselves as if we are just monkeys in the hood, right? Like, running around like monkeys. If we see ourselves as monkeys, and that's it, there is no purpose in life. There really isn't. You're just a monkey, and you're gonna die, and then you cease to exist, and that's it. But so what I would say to that person is, like, do you have a spirit? Because if you have a spirit, what's the source? What's the environment that your spirit has to be in? Just like the fish, its environment, it can only survive in the water. And your spirit is from the Creator. You need to get reconnected to the Creator, because that's your source of oxygen. That's what gives you life. So if I were to say, how do you find your purpose? Go back to your source.
Solid, bro. Solid. Okay, so you know how to find your purpose, right? Go to the source. What would you say if you could help somebody with like the problem you were talking about with the mind? Like, what would be some tips that you could give them from your book, maybe to help their mind and help them, you know, overcome that problem?
Okay, well, I would say that there's a few things, but I kind of look at the world, and there is a lot happening, like I said. And there are evil, corrupt people in the world that are doing big things. They're making massive, they're vomiting all over people, right? And they're doing it without care. And so I say, look, okay, our source, the creator of the whole universe, get back to the source. Think about how the source, his mentality is like. He's also a big thinker. He thinks massive as well. He put the stars in the sky, the clouds. He put us here, right? He's given us life. And I'm like, okay, if you can reconnect back to the source, you'll have not only his characteristics, but you'll also be able to think like him, act like him, walk like him, talk like him. Like the source. I say that, I like to say it like that because just so people kind of get kind of like an analogy of what I'm trying to say. He didn't think small, right? Like he was, I'm gonna put the earth there, put the sun over there. Okay, I'm gonna put the sun just far away enough to where people won't burn. If it's an inch closer, they're gonna freeze. He's everything is so strategic. So I don't even know what your question was. What was your question?
No, so just how do they overcome the mind, like that problem in the mind, like, you know what I mean?
So okay, that's what I was saying.
About.
So like I was saying, there's a lot of evil in the world, and you know, and a lot of people, they're a byproduct of a world that they are born into. It's not like we didn't ask for this, right? And I think we agree, but like the way you overcome it, what in my opinion, my belief is when you reconnect back to God and you start to think the way He thinks, and you take His mentality, you will see through life through a whole other lens. Because if you're looking through your own eyes, you're looking through eyes that you have been programmed to think a certain way. You've been programmed to believe certain things. So what I'm saying is, like, get rid of everything that you think you know. Like, literally, you gotta humble yourself. Be like a child. Like a child, they just believe anything, right? They believe Santa. They believe the Easter Bunny. Like, become like a child. Like, you ever think about those times where, I mean, you and I are pretty young, but like, I've heard a lot of older folks say this. Like, man, if I was your age, the knowledge that I have right now, I would, oh my goodness, I would have started a business when I was like 5 years old. I would have done so much, right? So I hear people say stuff like that, right? Because I get to know a lot of old folks, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm still a young guy. How do I get to a place where I have the knowledge that they have in my mid-20s and apply it now? So I'm like, okay, gain wisdom, right? Gain knowledge. Get the right information, because we always say knowledge is power. But could the wrong information also be power? Could ignorance be power? And I say yes. So I think the way to overcome those problems of the mind is to get knowledge, but you have to get the right knowledge from the right source. So get the right knowledge, come like a child, humble yourself, act like you don't know anything, right? Like when I say humble yourself, literally I'm saying, like, people, they have this pride where it's like, I was raised like this. Well, I got a nice car, I got a nice house. I don't need to know anything else. Like, what happens if a crisis happens? All of a sudden, it's like your world comes tumbling down. I don't want to sound negative, but I'm saying always be prepared. And the best way to be prepared is to gain knowledge, the right knowledge. If you're struggling with confidence, if you're struggling with miseducation, things like that, I would say my book would be a great place to start. Other than that, yeah, my favorite book, The Word of God. I like that more than my own book.
Yeah.
So that's what I would say.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dequan. And you can, that's a perfect segue for the book. The link will be in the description. And, you know, this guy I've known, we've grown pretty close over the last maybe 2.5 years or so. So
2 years already. Golly.
So yeah, I'm super pumped for you guys to get your hands on the book. So click the link in the description for the book. And other than that, you have anything to say?
Dude, go big.
Yeah.
Go big.
Big
or
on.
go bigger. There is no go big or go home. Go big or go bigger. That's it.
Yeah. Good stuff, man. Thank you.
All right, man.
Thanks for watching, guys.